My first guest today is Christy Watson, the shelter director at Watauga Humane Society. So we have learned that the Watauga Humane Society has obtained 4 dogs from South Korea.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about that and how that happened?
Yeah, so we are emergency placement partners with Humane Society of the United States, which basically means that anytime there's a crisis situation in our state, we are one of the top shelters that they call and say, hey, we have some animals that, need rescuing, that need pulling, whatever the case may be. Are you able to have them and pull them into your facility? And always we're able to help. And this time they rescued 31 dogs from the meat trade in South Korea.
Wow.
And we were one of 5 shelters in North Carolina, I think, to take the Korean dogs and bring them into our facility and get them socialized and find them forever homes. They're all
Elderly?
1 year old.
They're all 1 year old.
Yeah.
Wow, and they've lived their entire lives in kennels, is that right?
Yeah, in small wire crates, very, very little interaction, socialization, which is amazing that they're so sweet. And, my staff has been very, very diligent because they have been in quarantine and the public hasn't been able to go and do meet and greets with them. So staff has been very diligent in spending time with them every day. We all go back there and try to just spend time with them, socialize them, letting them get used to being touched, and they seem to just love it. They eat it up.
Oh, that makes me so happy. That's wonderful. So do you guys have a partnership with, shelters and places that are overseas?
Currently, no. We actually just work with Humane Society of the United States. They are the liaison between the shelter, well, our shelter at least, and overseas.
That's awesome. Well, I do want to merge into a lighter topic and your role at the Humane Society as the director. I know that's a heavy job. So what can you tell us about your favorite part of being the director at the Humane Society?
Well, I'm shelter director. We have an executive director who oversees all of the Watauga Humane Society. So I am I'm the operations director.
Okay.
Animal care, adoptions, things like that, and it is very fun. It's a fun job. It is something different every single day. I love it. I began as a volunteer at the shelter 5 years ago, and then I slowly became a director on the board of directors, and then the position opened, and I was like, well, I spend all my time there anyways. I might as well it just fit. And so I've been the adoption center manager for about 1.5 years now.
Awesome. So your favorite part about getting to interact with animals, it sounds like a dream job for some people like myself.
Yeah.
Every day. What can you tell us about your favorite part?
Oh, that's hard. That's really hard. There's so many good parts. Probably being able to care for the animals, kind of like with Cal. Taking care of them, getting them healthy, getting them socialized, getting them adopted out into a perfect home. We love to see other homes, after the adoption process, sending the pictures in, hey, this is, whatever the animal may be in her new home with her brothers and sisters. It's great. I mean,
super rewarding.
It is. Placing those animals into their homes is just amazing.
Well, Watauga is classified as a low-kill shelter, right? So can you tell us kind of what that means, break it down for us?
Sure. And actually, we are almost a no-kill. We're like 2% away. We are really working very hard to go towards no-kill. Like I said, we're basically a no-kill.
Yeah.
We do not euthanize healthy adoptable animals. We do not euthanize for space. Basically, it only happens when an animal is severely sick, severely injured, because we are a nonprofit. If an animal, is so severely injured that we can't help it, something like that. But if we're able to fix it, I mean, we've had, just this summer alone, we've had 4 dogs with broken legs. We've been able to treat all of that. got all 4 of them into homes and got them, you know, into wonderful homes. So once again, it's very rewarding.
That's so nice to hear. Well, I know that I've been to the woolly worm, but for those who haven't, can you tell us a little bit more about what it is?
We race woolly worms.
And I just want everybody to know that you just pulled a woolly worm out of your necklace. That's what just happened. It's a live woolly worm that you had in your necklace.
Well, if you girls want to know how to be well dressed, I mean, you would have a necklace like this. But we race these worms. We race 25 of them at a time, and they go up either 36 inches or 42 inches, depending on the weather. So if you enter the first race, you win $25 and a beautiful ribbon. Then you come back for a semifinal, and if you win that, you win $100. And then, of course, your real goal is to come back for the final race, where all our final contestants are up there, and that's for $1,000. But your worm has to pass a test.
Oh, no.
And that is, the veterinarian checks it, does a little urinalysis on it to be sure it's steroid stimulant free. Absolutely no cheating. If it passes all of that, then we judge the weather. The neat thing about a woolly worm, you know, there's 52 weeks in a year, there's 4 seasons, fall, winter, summer, spring, and each season has 13 weeks, and that's a fact. And so a woolly worm is the only animal or insect that we know of that has 13 individual body segments. You can see that best on like my hat here. We're some 87, 88% accurate in 38 years of predicting the weather. We challenge the weather stations you use or the government's weather stations to beat the mighty woolly worm.
Well, after the break, when we come back, I know that we're going to be doing some racing. So stay with us. Okay, everybody, we're back and we're about to start our very serious woolly worm races. Gentlemen, do you have names for your worms?
Mine's Apple Butter. He's moving out.
Woolly Booger.
All right, mine's name is Pickle. So if Mr. Hallis, I think that you're cheating.
Apple Butter is moving out. The Valley Country Fair is moving out.
We bet no, but I might when it's over here.
All right, guys.
We'll just let them go.
Okay, then I guess it's between you and I.
All right.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Go Apple Butter.
They're not moved. Let's
go Apple Butter.
Give them a little boost, get them started here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, mine's the losing worm.
Well, there they go. Now the 2 of them are moving on.
Apple mine back down. There we go.
Yours is still.
All right, Apple Butter's back into it.
Woolly Booger's coming out in the lead. Woolly Booger, here comes Apple Butter catching up.
Apple Butter's coming up hard.
What's going on with mine? Did you give me a faulty worm?
Ma'am, ours are highly trained.
Oh, there we go. All right.
It's Woolly Booger.
Woolly Booger did it.
Here
and
comes Apple
second
Butter.
is Apple Butter, close right behind it.
All right, well, looks like we have our winners.
The ASU worm is just a little bit slower, but maybe,
fool you guys.
Maybe he'll take some lessons from the football team.
He's starting to move now a little bit.
My last guest today is from the Science Education Program here at App State to tell us how science and learning can be fun. And how are you, Jeff?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. I'm doing great. Well, tell us what you do in the Science Education Program.
So I work with people who are going to be teachers, and I'm really interested in helping teachers think of themselves not as knowledge dispensers. You know, we often think teachers are there to give knowledge, but to help people who are going to be teachers think of themselves as enthusiasm engineers. Because knowledge, you know, in the end, now is on people's phones. The information is there. But the ideas have to come along with passion.
Definitely.
And so young teachers need to be thinking of themselves as people who are going to help develop passion for knowledge. And they do that through becoming enthusiasm engineers.
Well, I can tell already you're very enthusiastic about what you do, and I love it. I love hearing that. So why is science to you so important to learn and keep in our schools?
Well, so in our human history, being curious has been really significant, right? If you think of a tribe, earlier Dr. L was talking about folks who are walking around 10 or 20,000 years ago. That group of people had to be curious. If there was a broken branch when they woke up, was that somebody that was trying to get them some animal they could eat, some animal that might eat them? curiosity is baked into our cultural and
From
genetic.
a little age, from babies.
Yeah, and from historically, all the way back through our evolution. So let me give you an example, okay? So I'm going to show you something.
Okay.
I'm going to pretend that I have some magic glue here. I'll pretend it's in here in my pocket. And I'm going to show you that the glue is not sticky at all, which is kind of a bummer for glue, right? You want glue to be sticky.
Yes.
Turns out that this glue is only sticky if it's in the dark. So now it sticks, okay, right? But if I hold it up here in the light, it comes unstuck, right? So let me get some more of this magic glue in here now. Right?
Okay.
I love your face.
Okay.
You see, but you really want to know how this works. You see how your brain right now, you're trying to figure it out, right? Not sticky at all, right? But I put it in the darkness, and then it sticks, and then it comes unstuck when it's in the light. Now, there's not any magic glue. Obviously, you know there's not magic glue because my pocket would be glued shut because it's dark in there, right? So but there's something in here that allows me to stick that rope.
And there's something here that makes me want to know what you're doing.
Yeah, and see, that desire to know is something that everybody is born with and that we can maintain our whole lives. And I'm convinced that if people keep that alive, they keep alive some other things, which is a curiosity not just about this bottle and how it works, but a curiosity about the physical world. Mm-hmm. They start to care about, oh, that flower, that plant, what's the name of that plant? And why does it bloom then? And wow, maybe I should oppose the people who want to put in a parking lot here because that plant grows there. And you know, they might start being curious about one another. So I think that curiosity here can translate into empathy, curiosity that bridges gaps between people. I really believe this. It's not just something I say. Like, I actually think that if we get curious about the physical world, and if we learn to find curiosity in our own hearts, we'll also learn to be better to one another.
Well, in your lessons, how do you intrigue people? How do you keep them curious in your classroom?
Well, one is by having good props, right? No, but I think that some of it is by being curious myself.
Yeah.
Right? So I have to be on the lookout for things that make me wonder, right? I started a project a long time ago. I didn't know what to call what I did with my life. Like, my college would write and say, what are you doing? And I teach a lot of different kinds of things. So I decided to just call it human wonder research.
Yes.
And so I try to do human wonder research, figure out what makes people intrigued, and then to follow that.
Right.
And can I say one thing to the people out there?
Yeah.
So if you want to know how this bottle works, all you have to do is email me how you think it works. Doesn't have to be right. And I'll send you a video of me making it with a clear bottle.
I hope everyone's enjoyed the show. And right now I'm hanging out with Wooly the Woolly Worm. How are you doing, Wooly? Well, are you excited about the upcoming events this weekend? Me too. I hope we can go together. Do you think you'll be doing any racing maybe? Show me a little bit of a race. Yes. Well, I have one final question for you, Wooly. What do you call it when worms take over the world? Global warming. All right, everybody, that's our show. Thanks for watching. Bye, neighbor.